A woman who had spent years working overseas finally returned to her hometown. At her age, making money wasn't her top priority anymore. Through a local agent, she spent $800 on this house in front of her, planning to renovate it and settle down for good. You could tell this house had been sitting empty for years. Pushing open the heavy, locked front door, the first thing she saw was the living room. It was obvious the house wasn't too run down, which made her pretty happy. There wasn't any major damage. On the right side of the house, there was a space that looked like a storage room, but it was still unfinished. She knew it would need work later. The house had a lot of surface area, with a standard 3-bedroom, 1 living room layout. The kitchen at the back, however, was in bad shape. The tin roof had given way to time and collapsed long ago. After taking a look around, she felt it was still manageable. She immediately contacted cleaning professionals to clear out the house. To help them focus, she even offered to order them takeout, but they politely declined. The first spot to clean was the entryway. Even though it wasn't technically part of the house, clearing it made daily access much easier. Wanting to move in as soon as possible, she hired several cleaning professionals. With cutting tools swinging, the weeds at the doorway fell fast, and it already looked much better. As time went on, they moved to the yard inside. There weren't a ton of weeds, just a few scattered ones since the house had been abandoned so long. Clearing them was simple. The yard itself wasn't very big, so there wasn't much to remodel. The ground was still dirt, so cementing it for comfortable living was necessary. As the cleaning moved closer to the house, this was the part she cared about. Most, it would directly affect her renovation costs. After all, she had rented the house because it was cheap, so any money saved mattered. Once the scattered boards on the ground were cleared, they could finally start on the interior. The floors weren't too old, just covered in dust, making them look worse than they were. The walls, however, had a lot of mold that would need attention later. The unfinished storage area still didn't have a purpose. She hadn't decided what to do with it yet, so cleaning it was the first step. Slowly, her anxiety eased. The interior was a bit old, but the structure was solid. There were no cracks in the walls or floors, so a fresh coat of paint would do the trick. The collapsed kitchen roof, though, would cost a bit more to fix. The original kitchen area needed serious attention. Food is important, and she wasn't taking it lightly. Once the floors were thoroughly cleaned, the intense cleaning phase was done. The previously abandoned house was now ready to live in. The yard was small, but the interior space was wide and comfortable. For $800, she had really scored a deal, and the house was right on a main road, making the location